Oh, Morgue. I'm gonna tear these snowflakes up. Oh, wait a minute. This actually was an interesting, decent issue. Listen. All things aside, some people hearing this might think my videos might think I'm some kind of monster. I am, but the thing is that I'm the fairest mother effer that you'll ever meet. So, and I give credit where credit is due. Right? This issue was interesting. So, and John Carpenter has a comic company. Maybe it's a tax write-off, but that's something to look into. So Andrea goes over this thing. What is this? It's hard to believe that it was only 4 years ago that we kicked off this decade in a saw trap of agoraphobia, hypochondria, yes, sorting our loved ones in a hierarchy of social bubbles, and yes, the damn disease itself. The pando sucked a lot, but it gave us time to catch up with herself. So she's talking about how she, segueing into the theme of this, or one of the themes of this issue is rediscovering video games. Okay, right? Video games, as you notice in the Decibel magazine, there's a whole section dedicated to video games too. It is a glue connection to horror, to music, right? But it's just interesting thinking of that time. I'm thinking of putting my old vids up when I had the did I say the vid? When I had the mask on, and you see me slowly realizing that there's something not kosher about what's going on in the situation. And it's amazing how it's been memory hold, and there's so much stuff horror wise you could do from it, and not one horror film is actually doing anything really relevant to those themes of the psyop. Yeah. But regardless, interesting. She had this tattooed on her. This is from, I guess, the Friday the 13th game that she beat. The famously fucking hard Friday the 13th game. Alright, so. Andrea, when you have me before the tribunal, right, I will always say every issue I try to be fair, and every issue I mentioned there's always good things in Rue Morgue to get pointed out. So good. So one of the themes of this issue is the sons and daughters of the of directors making their own films. Now David Cronenberg, his son's made a bunch of films, but now his daughter has made a film. A dystopian film, which I think that wasn't his first film. They shot like on a campus up in Montreal or something. It was a dystopian or something art film. What was interesting about this was in terms of I probably won't see the movie, but this was interesting. Okay, and I also have a side hobby as a photographer thanks to this thing in my hands. Right, and actually a good, interesting question. Right. Did your long career as a still photographer inform your directing style? I noticed that in a lot of your scenes when the family are together, there is a stillness which allows us to focus entirely on what is being said. Not just that, but the various things you detect silently between what is being said. Right? The subtext. I do, yes. I would like to think my work as a photographer helped create the style I brought to the film. I'm glad you noticed the stillness and focus because I don't like a lot of camera movement. I love lighting, I love set design, details, whatnot. But the stillness was intentional early on to give stark contrast to the savagery and violence that came after it. Now that was very interesting from an aesthetic point of view, a creative point of view, separate from all the other things I'm always harping on sometimes. What are films in the end? Never forget. What is a film? It's a moving photograph. It's a certain number of photographs going, in succession in 24 seconds or 24 films in a second. My bad. So and they cover all the Shyamalan's daughters getting into the act. Now I defend this dude, man. I defend this guy. This guy, even when he makes a film that's not the greatest, it's still interesting. Okay, and his visual style. I always say that Shyamalan has money to make these films, but these are films that you could make with like a video camera and no money. And he still has done that with all the money. And apparently, she's making a film, set in a folk horror film set in Ireland. Okay, well, she's not going to try to be the prime minister, I guess. So they're talking about nepotism. Nepo baby has gained currency in recent years. You talking about Hollywood? Whoa, careful! You don't want to open that can of worms. People are opening another can of worms around you, as you can see lately, and it's not going back in the can. Right? So careful when you start bringing up nepotism in Hollywood. Right? But it was interesting here. Like I didn't know Robin Williams. I didn't know he had a daughter. Right? And I didn't know she made a film. Okay, just like with the Ed Piscor film, I was not. I was as a kid. I did not like Nanu Nanu. Right, Mork from Mork, and I was never a fan of Robin Williams. I did not like his work. Okay, just my personal thing. What happened to him though was really sad, really sad. So, and it struck me back then. It was 2014. Wow. Cronenberg, the son I told you, Lynch. I forgot that Jennifer, the boxing Helena thing. That was Lynch's daughter. But this guy, I was not aware of this guy, Anthony Perkins. First of all, I didn't know he had a son. You know, what I mean, I thought he was, but and the actor, the mother, was killed on Flight 11 in 9/11. Wow, that's a whole other thing. But I mean, this guy this kid. This guy had a tragic life here, man. So, and he's making. Oh, I've heard of this film. So good. Hopefully, he'll have some success with this. It's this world and the Ultimate Sin. That is such an underrated Ozzy album. That is underrated. Some of the best lyrics on that album. But regardless, I'm not gonna go with video games. This stuff is usually retro monsters. You go to the comic store by me. They have like retro action figures. And I remember Mego, Remco. I remember all these little things. But I there's a magazine too that covers a lot of this stuff. But this looks really cool. This is a knockoff of those, Remco, Mego, whatever. So in New Zealand. So this person is remaking them. And I can tell you, like, tchotchkes, whatever. I mean, listen, toy soldiers. I like models. I have a couple of models I'm trying to make, and the little plastic toy soldiers are interesting. But I can't start collecting this stuff. I mean, those are like $20. These little action figures, they're great. They're freaking made with a quality like you wouldn't imagine. But still, man, if you had books collecting the artwork for these things, like on the models or Japanese toys, the artwork, I would buy. So, and also this guy, right? He mentions the Monster Squad, the Hilarious House of Frankenstein. I barely remember those. It was before my time, but he really got kicked up by seeing one of the greatest horror films of all time, one of my favorites, Silent Terror, yo. Yes. So I'll look into this. So what is it? $30 though. Damn, dude. Well, like I said, you got to get that Gen X money before the demos shift. Right? The Zoomers, they don't like anything, do they? They don't like anything cool, do they? So going here, this sounded interesting. This film, just from the description of it, the mask looks cool. And the director basically said, we were approaching this film as almost a nature documentary, where we're following around our slasher, almost like a National Geographic documentary. Mutual of Omaha. We want to treat it like that. We really want to embrace the nature of it, and even the double entendre of the title itself, In a Violent Nature. Nature in itself is a very violent place to be. Yeah, no kidding. So think of there's like how many animals have killed each other in a savage struggle for survival just outside my window. But this actually makes it sound interesting to me. So, and speaking of Zoomers, gathered around the campfire, these Zoomers have all the modern comforts the counterparts of the classic era did not, namely cell phones and awareness of proper pronoun usage. Oh, you're taking the piss, lady. I know you're making a joke with that. Go on now. Hey, nothing interesting here. Going through. I remember this movie. Yeah, this was a direct-to-video movie. This guy. Now, we always say all the horror actors are gone, right? But you could argue him and Robert Englund are sort of like the real last ones, horror actors. But this always looked interesting to me. I just never rented it. Also, I like this here. The guy watching now. You imagine these young people now watching 50s films. They can't stand things like a handsome, smug, and entitled male character, Steve. Hey, Steve. Condescending dickhead. Right? He's a guy dickhead, but what's funny, all the women seem to go for him. All right. Oh, it's in the script. One could justly decry the gender politics on display here, right? Because the guy's being like, "You're a lovely girl, but lovely girls just don't run around worrying about non-existent sea monsters." Right? So, But then 2 minutes later, when she runs screaming down the beach after being startled by a wayward cow, her credibility does begin to sag a bit. I've actually never seen this. This is one of the early Corman films. Corman never lost money on he lost money on one film. Never lost money on any other film. And this movie, yo, I keep bringing this up. I saw this on Channel 9 cut. And this movie was savage, okay? Not just this killing machine alligator, but with the natives that slaughter the resort at the end. That actually disturbed me more for some reason. I don't know why. And this guy is always bringing up, whatever he's covering, he always ends up like actually making a little vague accusation comments. Right? It's unclear whether our modern rogues gallery of cryptocurrency scammers, inflammatory social media pundits, and duplicitous politicians ever experienced the same guilt that plagued Tom. And I remember this film. What was it? The Tormented. It was on the little robot shows. Did it? Oh, Cocaine Werewolf. Oh, Mark Polonius. Okay. Him and his brother. The brother passed away. They're from Westboro, Pennsylvania, by the border with New York. That's interesting. Still making movies, man. And Arkham, look. Oh, Lovecraft Film Festival. Yeah, they have these every year. So, and this looks very queer to me. I don't know. And speaking of, well, before that, we go. This is what I mean. I never would have heard of this book. Gothic Meditations at Midnight. Esoteric Commentaries. Classic Horror Literature and Film. 1919 to 1975. Stephen E. Flowers is an expert on Germanic lore and runes. Oh, careful. Esoteric. Oh, I don't like these words I'm hearing. After many books on the occult, he decided to come out. As in Monster Kid. I keep telling you about the Monster Kids. Right? Those born between 45 and 60. Okay, so that now we have a definitive year. Definitely not one of them. And he covers Paul Lovecraft, Heinz Ewers. Oh, I already am this guy, my red flag is going up. Literally the red flag. So, small press book will not be found in major stores. I want to check this out. So, thank you, Morgue. Right? Andrea, remember that when you had me before the firing squad. And now here, this is actually, if I seen this in the comic store, this is a graphic novel, right? Now, I always say Blackula, right? Of course, it won't spoil the plot. Take on modern life, it just illustrates no subtle commentary on black oppression, Big B, right? And the little W right there, right? White trash servants, trusty white trash. So hey, they're trusty, but right, just as Blackula did for the blaxploitation era. Well, I will say that Blackula is a great film. William Marshall's a great actor. I always said that. Both films are good. I always wanted them to make a third film where he gets his revenge on Dracula. Okay, listen, man, what was done to Mumwald, right, in this film, in the beginning of this film with his wife, what was done to this guy is one of the most fucking disturbing things to me that was done to a character in a movie. This is a very tragic character. I always wanted the third film should be him whooping Dracula's ass, and I fucking mean it. Right? Well, fair is fair. I told you I was a fair motherfucker, right? Oh, what's all this swearing? Come on. The LA Hood of Watts. Actually, Watts is not. I heard Watts has changed demographically. Okay? That's what I've heard. People got chased out of there. But in terms of here, right, Dracula is in this, so there's gonna be a chance for him to get revenge on Dracula. But like I said, now they should have done it back then. Now I don't want to see this. You know what's in this? Trusty white trash servants. And what is this? Dagon Collection. So this is a book. What is this? I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's apparently it's a Lovecraft fan book, and this must-have book. Okay, it's a must-have book. A stunning testament to the lasting power of the much maligned author. Who maligns Lovecraft? The only people that would malign Lovecraft are probably jealous people or bitches or morons. So I don't know who maligns Lovecraft. So yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's see. I'm not gonna touch this. Queer for Fear. Wasn't that a bet? No. So, what is this? You know what? Yeah. Oh man, I got it. Okay. All right. Addendum. Don't you love that word?